Welcome back, you all, to part two. The exit from Tanzania, why people are leaving and why we're leaving. So hopefully you've watched part one, where I have hopefully cleared up some of where I've answered some of your questions and cleared up some of your confusion as it relates to our departure from Tanzania and others that we know who have departed. So in this part two, I want to, there's a lot that I want to talk about because there is a lot that I have seen. I follow, a lot of, YouTubers channels throughout the entire continent, because we are everywhere now, you guys. I mean, from Burkina Faso, we got people in Kenya, Gambia, Senegal, Namibia, of course Ghana, even Nigeria. Who else do I know? So many, you guys. It's so many. Did I say Burkina Faso? There's so many that I've met and I follow. And, and of course, lots here, that have come, to Tanzania, during this repatriation. And I read the comments. And, I've seen, videos, and there's just some things that really need to be cleared up. First and foremost, I want to say that I have seen a lot of comments that suggest that it is like a sin or a crime to depart whatever country you're in. And I've seen that just as of recently, because a lot have left Tanzania, and it seems to be some sort of competition going on, and some sort of shaming, some sort of chastising when someone chooses to depart from one land and go to another land that they feel suits them. That is one of the most idiotic things, and it needs to stop. It is absolute foolishness. It is immaturity. It is pure stupidity, and it's ignorance. For someone to feel like it's a competition, or somebody has to stay, in a place where they're not happy, or where they feel like, they're not blossoming and they're not flourishing. And it was a lot of shaming on oh, well, you're leaving Tanzania, then, Tanzania is better than this place. Look, Tanzania has this, look, Tanzania has that. Listen, this whole continent has so many beautiful and amazing things to offer us all. Not just Tanzania, not just Gambia, not just Ghana, not just Burkina Faso, not just Guinea-Bissau, not just Senegal, not just Equatorial Guinea, not just Kenya, not just any of these places. This entire continent has beautiful things and a wide array and variations of cultures for us to indulge in and appreciate. We're not slaves. We're not. And we're not enslaved. Those of us who have freed our minds, that is. So, and physically we have a right to travel through this entire earth and continent however we feel is best for us in the path that we chose. There is no shaming here. There's nothing wrong with someone choosing to leave one land to go to another, whether it be just for exploration or temporary visit, or whether it just be a complete permanent move. It is their right. It's their inalienable right. It is their birthright. Let me just make that very clear. So all of you all who are engaging in this very trivial, foolish, childish banter, about, this person, it's shame on them for leaving Tanzania, or Tanzania is better than this, or Ghana is better, you should have never left, or it's not going to be good for you there, or you're not going to enjoy it there either. Shame on you. You have to figure out within yourself, where is that coming from? Because it sounds like insecurity. That's what it sounds like. Immaturity. And pure ignorance. Everybody's not going to have the same experience throughout these lands. And that's something that I always find myself repeating, that yes, I share my experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I've had them all while here in Tanzania. And I've always told you guys, you're going to get the balance here. That's who I am. Being a Libra, I balance. It's ridiculous for someone to believe and think that they're just going to have goody gumdrops and sprinkle experiences here, and to think that people aren't going to share them, or that they shouldn't share them, is even more idiotic. Who the hell are you? It seems like you're in a state of denial, those who are making these foolish comments. Like there are no flaws here in this land and in other lands and throughout this entire earth. There are. I don't know where this mentality has come from, that, Alkebulan has been put on this pedestal of a non-criticizing pedestal, a non-flawed pedestal, this pedestal of false perfection. Do you understand what happened in this land? The same thing that happened, that same colonial system, it happened in this land. So for you to think that it's perfect here, or that it's the way that it was when our ancient ancestors were here, you're delusional. You need to go get help. You really do. Straight up. This is not the Alkebulan of our ancestors. And I see over and over again a lot of romanticizing. I see a lot of blaming on the diaspora. Something's wrong with you, because there's nothing wrong with this land. No, that was you. Oh, you didn't like it because of that? Man, that's everywhere. So you couldn't deal with that. Oh, well, then something's wrong with you. Everybody's not here to perpetuate the status quo. You have to know who you are here. You may be a being that's here to perpetuate the status quo, to not invoke change. You're here just to go along to get along. And if that is who you are, then that's who you are. And there are some who are here who knows exactly who they are. They know themselves. They know that they are the origin. They know they've tapped into the Akashic records within them, their mini universe. They know what this land used to be when their great great, great, great ancestors walked this land, ruled this land with authority, with dignity, righteousness, justice, balance. And they're here to re-erect that standard. Because that's where we're going into. We're in the age of Aquarius. It is the age that says, I know. So for the ones who know themselves, they're on a whole different path. And they're not here to perpetuate the colonial system. We didn't have visa systems. We didn't have immigration. And just because those things are here doesn't mean that we have to accept them as they are. It doesn't mean that in our minds we have to say, okay, well, it's here, so we'll just be happy with it and not say anything about it. Not call out its flaws, not call out its origin. Not call out its agenda, why it was erected by the colonizer in the first place. These are the things we should know. Those of us that know that, we couldn't possibly be happy with this system. So you have to, it depends on who you are. Why did you come here? No, I don't have that mentality, and I never have, that I am a foreigner here. Some have accepted the fact that they are foreigners, but they also, then I hear the straddling of the fence. Yeah, we did come from here, but we're foreigners. When you say but, it takes away from everything that you just said, and I try not to say it. You know, it's either or. That's straddling the fence. I don't ever tell myself that I'm a foreigner here. I say that they treat me like one, but just because they do doesn't mean that I have to accept that for myself. I would never. I'm a cosmic citizen. I'm the original woman, womb man. I know myself. I'm here as an initiator. I initiate. Cosmically, that's what I'm here to do. And I know that. So I understand we all don't walk the same path. We all have a different agenda. I'm here to put things back in balance, back in righteousness, back in truth. Justice. Each one of our cosmic principles, which we call zodiac signs, they have characteristics. They have cosmic principles that shape our universal laws that we created. And here in the age of Aquarius, the age of I know, I'm here aligning myself with that energy. That's what I was put here to do. So I don't say that I'm a foreigner, and I could never accept that for myself. I would be a fool to accept that and ever utter that out of my mouth, knowing who I am, and then say that I am a foreigner. Foreigner where? As the origin, how could I be a foreigner? So it depends on who you are, who you tell yourself you are. So if that's what you believe, that you truly are a foreigner, and that the system that was created by the colonizer has a right to tell you when and where and how you can come and go throughout this land or any other lands, then that's for you. But don't chastise others who know better, who have a different mentality. That's fine if that's what you've chosen for yourself. We have to know what we're bowing down to. We're going into the spiritual here, you guys. This physical thing is about to be done. Know thyself. And I just see a lot of finger pointing, a lot of shaming. Like somebody has to stay in Tanzania, or like someone has to stay in Ghana, or like somebody has to stay in any land on this continent or anywhere else. You don't have to. No one has a right to shame. And I know those who have exited here have exited not for trivial reasons, but profound reasons, solid reasons, sound reasons. I was talking to someone. Sometimes I'm shocked at what people say, you know, sometimes, sometimes they may not know, you know, the magnitude of what it is that they're saying. But, you know, someone was saying that, you know, some people are coming here and they're not prepared, you know, they're not prepared financially. And I don't know what, you know, why you would come here not prepared financially. And I've also seen kind of similar talks, you know, on other channels. I've seen it in commentary and in conversations where I've gone out and I've heard that. So it's not the first time. I want to say this. I don't think you all know, because when you say that, you can't possibly know that we are at war. So recently, let me just give this example. Recently, in the West, there's been this big debate and about Guatemalans seeking asylum in the U.S. because of the conditions, the abuse that they are experiencing in Guatemala. And I know that none of those people, while they were escaping the hostile environment, were thinking about whether they had a retirement plan, a 401k, whether they had a lot of money in the bank to sustain themselves. None of them weren't thinking about that. They were thinking about surviving. And I don't know why we can't see our, although it's divine, exodus from the West, why we can't see our exit from there in that same way. Are we not being abused? Are we not being marginalized? Are we not being disenfranchised? Are we not being murdered and shot down and hung? And I can't even say like dogs, because they wouldn't dare do a such thing to a dog. You could get 15, 20 years for harming an animal or more. So I can't even say like a dog anymore, because it's not befitting. Because even the dogs, their status is above ours in that land. These are the things that we are having to face and experience and witness day after day. And then people still expect us to come to work and put a smile on our face and be jolly and happy when we are broken inside. How could you not think seeing our brothers and sisters murdered day after day after day for no reason, and that we would be mentally okay? understand that. So not everybody's going to come over. Neither will they be thinking about, do they have enough to sustain them? They're just trying to get to safety. They're trying to get back to the mother and be in her womb and her comfort and her care and her security, because the mother will provide. Get you some seeds, you throw them in the ground. And in some places, it's growing on the trees. You walking and there's indizi. You walking and there's imbe or banana and mango. You get you some seeds. Maybe here, 1,000, 2,000, a few thousand shillings, 3,000 shillings. Go get you some inyanya seeds, some kitangu, some onions, some tomatoes. You'll be all right. Get you some mchicha. You'll be all right. The mother will provide. You can be walking down the road and there's food. You can have your peace so that you can also partake and enjoy your spiritual food, because you're not in that rat race. You're not on that plantation. So who gives a damn if you have a 401k or a whole bunch of money in the bank? Nobody's thinking about that when they're trying to survive, when they're escaping war, a hostile environment. No one's thinking about those things. Wherever you go, brothers and sisters, you need to know that you have something called your will. That thing goes with you wherever you are. You don't have to have a whole bunch of money to go anywhere. You have your will. And just as the saying says, where there's a will, there is a way. You better believe that. I know that from my own experience. I know it. You have your will. There is a way. Don't you ever let anybody tell you any different. Don't. I think people really understand when they say some things. Do you understand what you're saying? I didn't have that, contrary to popular belief. I said, I gotta get the hell out of this place. Sold everything that I could sell, all my merchandise, and gave most of it away to charity. Came with 3 bags for myself and 3 for my son. I didn't care. It's what I had to do to preserve my sanity. It's what I had to do. For my son, it's what I had to do. Every murder, it was draining. And I saw my son, because I see them as my sons. My sister's son is my son. Doesn't matter we're born to the same parents. Her son is my son. Her daughter is my daughter. And that thing hurt. Yeah. Standing up against racism on the job, standing up for it day after day by myself, because our people would, oh girl, yeah, you should do it. Yeah, tell them and that. And they sit up in the corner and watch you. Like, well, that's her. Oh, well, she probably shouldn't have said nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. You know, did that. Speaking up and speaking out. It's not for everybody. Again, you have to know who you are and why you're here. We have a right to go wherever we choose to go throughout this entire earth. We are the origin. We are cosmic citizens. If you don't know it, that is fact. And there is no way for us to evoke change if we do not send out the frequencies for change, so that the universe can surround us, can support us in that, join in with us. It can never happen if you continue to go along with the status quo. It will never change. It's not going to happen. It happens when an opposite, okay, so let me just say this. Cosmic law of manifestation happens when there are two polar opposites. There have to be two opposites in order for manifestation to occur. So if everyone is going along with the status quo and they're being quiet and hush hush, and they're supporting an oppressive system, a system of imbalance, then there is no counter, and there is no counter energy, then there cannot be a manifestation of change. It's the same as man and womb man, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, male, female, positive, negative. That is creation and manifestation. That completes the circle. Some may not understand it, and it's okay. But I just wanted to say that, and I'm going to end there. You have a right to go wherever you want to go throughout this land, without shame, without consequences, without people spewing out nasty, ignorant comments. There is a place here for us all. And I tell you in ending, explore, explore, and explore. All right, until next time, you guys, be good.